Some of the greatest businesses in history have been created by friends and family members working together. But also, some of the greatest businesses in history have been dismantled by friends and family members trying to work together. What is the difference between those that succeed and those that don't? Well, if you understand the processes to safely work with family and friends, you can do this in a way that will create momentum, move you forward, let you work day to day with somebody that you love and respect already, and it can be incredibly rewarding. But entrepreneurs struggle with this decision. They have a hard time deciding if they should. In fact, so many entrepreneurs don't even put the right process in place. They just decide they're going to build a business and grow it as fast as they can and sacrifice their family. Or they decide they're going to put time into their family and put a cap on their business, and you don't have to do either. See, when you work with the right people and you build a team, you can experience all the success you want and have the family you want. And if your spouse or family member is working with you, it makes it even easier. However, if you're going to make this decision and get into business with family and friends, then you should understand a few simple rules that will make this easier. I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs to do this. And when you follow this process, you have an extraordinarily high likelihood of success. If you don't, your chances of success are all over the place, and I want you to move in the right direction. So first, if you're going to work with family and friends, do more due diligence before you start instead of less. What often happens when we have the opportunity to work with someone who's familiar to us is we jump right in. We're excited about it and we start moving forward. The best thing to do is do your due diligence. Sit down, talk, understand what you want to do together. Make sure that you understand what roles and responsibilities will be and what expectations will be moving forward. When you create the due diligence, when you actually go through the process with a friend or family member, it will increase your confidence in making the decision to work together. Here's why this is so important. In any situation when you're working with someone, you're going to hit bumps in the roads. Sometimes they're small, sometimes they're huge. It's going to happen, it's an inevitability. And what will happen is if you're working with a friend or family member and you didn't do due diligence, you don't increase the commitment you have going in. When you do your due diligence, you're committed. You know that this is something you should be doing. You have confidence in it, and when you hit bumps in the road, you will work them out. So make sure, before you even start, you examine the situation, you agree on what's going to happen, you understand what the responsibilities are before you start. Second, when you're getting into business with friends or family members, you have to function under clear expectations, not excitement. It is so much more fun in the moment to let your emotions and your actions be driven by excitement. When we think about getting into business with somebody, we immediately create an ideal outcome, an ideal future that we start planning backwards to where we're sitting right now. As we start talking about getting involved in the business, we start thinking about all the incredible things we're going to do and all of the accomplishments we're going to have together, how fast we're going to grow the business. However, when we lead with excitement, instead of having clear expectations, we get into a place where that excitement dies down. And then if we weren't clear up front with a clear understanding of who was doing what and what was going to happen, when the excitement goes away, oftentimes so will your motivation to be in business together. When you make sure that you lead with clear expectations, with an understanding of what's happening, again, your commitment level to this relationship will go up, and it'll make it easier for you to handle growing a business together as things move forward. And three, this is a big one, and it's one that almost everyone ignores, even if they follow the first two, but it might be the most important. Everything that you do with a friend or a family member moving forward in business should be in writing. And I don't just mean in contract writing, but you should have clear job descriptions and expectations and project plans for exactly what you're going to do, especially if you're going to end up working with a family member or a spouse directly as partners. Make certain that each of your roles is clearly documented, that you have in writing what each one of you is going to do and what your expectations are, because here's what happens with family and friends. The familiarity we have together will allow us to move forward without having clarity. In fact, the familiarity from one person to another will override the normal things we will look at of, do I have clarity to move forward? Do I understand what I'm doing next? Do I know where I'm going and what my expectations are? And when we override those things, we break down our process as entrepreneurs, and we put ourselves in a position where our success goes from being assured to ambiguous. When you get things in writing with family and friends, you assure that you both understand what's going on, you have a document to refer back to, the emotions are taken out of the way, and you have clarity about exactly how you're going to move forward. Working with a friend or family member is incredibly rewarding. I've worked with my wife, Katie, for over 15 years. We've followed these instructions to the letter, and when we sit down and work together, we have job descriptions for each of us, project plans, expectations, everything's in writing, and then we can actually support each other instead of just trying to work day to day to grow the business. If you're thinking about getting into business with a friend or a family member, I encourage it. Follow these rules and you'll create massive momentum. If you're already in business with a friend or a family member and you haven't done this, you can start right now and correct the situation. Go through this process and you'll find an increased level of clarity, connection, and together you will create even more momentum. Working with a friend or family member is a privilege. Succeeding together will give you more momentum than you ever thought possible. Follow these simple steps and create momentum together. If you're looking for the processes, the systems, the habits that you should have, either for yourself or working with a family member, we want to help you create more momentum than you ever thought possible. Go to MomentumMasterclass.com. It's the only course created to help people like you and I get into maximum momentum in all areas of our life. And the structure within Momentum Masterclass will help you work with anyone you decide to work with, but specifically for a friend or family member, it will create more connection and clarity than you ever thought possible. If this video meant something to you, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel, hit the thumbs up and give us a like, and make a comment below and let us know what you think.